Hi there, everybody. It's Duncan again. I know 2 times in one day. I'm making up for being absent yesterday. I wanted to share something with you. You'll see at the bottom here. I want to talk to you and share with you actually live thoughts today from people that I've worked with in the past. I want you to know what it's like to get documents done, why they got it done, what it was like working with me, and how it felt to do it all. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that inspires folks, especially right now, who are thinking about these things more with the situation we're in with coronavirus. I hope this is helpful to you. And so we're going to talk to Jeff and Kim. They're good friends, former clients, and just lovely people, as you'll see in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them in right now. Let me go ahead and take off this and bring in Jeff and Kim. Jeff and Kim, how are you?
Good,
hey, Duncan. Hey.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you on today on the SDG Law and 1 Hour Wills live stream. And thank you for taking the time. I know there's lots going on right now. And on the other hand, a lot of people are at home. And so, maybe this will be helpful to somebody to take a look at this and hear from folks who've had this done.
Okay.
So thank you very much for being here.
Sure.
You're welcome.
So let me ask you, just right out of the gate, what made you want to get your planning done in the first place?
Wow.
Well, it was a process that started a long time ago, probably when I was in my mid to late 30s. And I was a banker. My father was an attorney, and Dad always did a great job of planning, taking care of his family, his kids. And that was a legacy that I wanted to continue, make sure that my family and kids were taken care of should anything happen to me. And I knew that if we didn't have a plan in place, probably a lot of our estate would get eaten up in court costs, probate expenses, those kinds of things, and it would just be wasted. So that's kind of where that was the germ of the idea.
Got it. Kim, what were you thinking about? What made you want to go ahead with it?
Well, part of it was, having 2 children and wanting to make sure that they're taken care of when we're gone. But also knowing that, it could be not both of us leaving, but one of us leaving, and knowing that the groundwork had been laid so that there wouldn't be the stress and the panic and the chaos that often comes after a death in the family.
Understood. Yeah, absolutely. So as you and I started working together to address these concerns and issues, what did you find the process like? What was it like to work with me to get these things done?
Well, I think I did probably the majority of the legwork with you, Duncan. And I can't remember exactly. Maybe we hooked up at church or after church or something at some point, and I expressed a concern, and I was excited to hear that was actually something that you did, and because we already had that personal relationship, and I already knew and liked you and respected you as an attorney. So when I found out that you were involved in estate planning, I think that naturally kind of raised the conversation. And I had been procrastinating on this. I had made several attempts over the years to work with different people who had left me with documents and basically left it up to me to get them all filled out and everything. And I would always start and get partway into it and then just kind of lose steam and drop the ball, and then sit there with this nagging kind of, in the back of my mind, like, you got to get this done. But it kind of seemed overwhelming. And then, when we sat down, I mean, I don't remember exactly what the process was. I just knew that I felt like you were holding my hand in a sense. I don't want to, make too much of that, but just to say that there was an encouragement to get it done. There were expressions on your part that you're almost done, giving me good feelings about progress with getting things done.
Good.
And then, knowing that you were looking over my shoulder on everything that I was getting done and simplifying it. And also, I think your fee structure really helped too. I mean, that was really an encouragement. So
yes. Well, for me, it was incredibly easy. And I had never had the background of having an attorney in the family until Jeff and I married. And so that was a whole new experience to me to have to go through the process. And you made it so easy, just, asking simple questions. And then once you had those answers, if you had holes or information that you needed, you just reached right back out so easily so that we could expand on those answers. And it was just simple. I mean, that's the best word I could use to describe it.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad. Well, we tried. And I think one of the things that'd be most helpful for people to know if they're thinking about this is, what's the payoff? Like, what's on the other side of this? So I'll just ask you, what was the feeling you had when we got the planning done and you kind of pushed back from the table? What was your response to that?
I'll let you go first on that.
Well, for me, it was just a weight off my shoulders, because it had been something that, we had been needing to do for years and kept pushing off. And to know that it was done was just like this huge relief. And it was just a weight, literally off.
Yeah. I second that. It was finally getting it done, and knowing that it was done right, knowing that it was buttoned up and nice and neat and packaged. And, the signing and having the documents, just having that filed away and knowing that it was done was like, yeah, it was a relief.
It's a comfort.
It's a comfort. And it's like, you don't have those moments where you kind of take a deep breath and think, it's like, it's done, so definitely peace of mind was a huge, which probably the biggest payoff for us.
Well, I know that Jeff has had medical issues in the past, and there were a couple of times that we were scared that something might happen, and knowing now that we're still dealing with the health issues, but we've got all that buttoned up. That's one less thing I have to worry about.
Yeah, that's a good point. I remember. That's right. One time I remember taking a mission trip and being concerned because I didn't have a power of attorney in place, and we kind of cobbled something together really quick. We got on an online service or something just so we had something.
Yeah.
But when you're making plans and you're going overseas and you're doing different things, that's one less thing that you have to worry about, that if something happens, we're in good shape here and our family's in good shape.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad. Well, and the one last thing I want to make sure I ask you, and then I want to follow up on a couple of things, is, given everything that we did together and the feeling on the other side, would you recommend that people who haven't gotten this done yet, or maybe need to refresh it, that they give me a shot and try working with me? What do you think?
Absolutely.
No doubt.
I think that knowing how much we fretted and worried about things before we had it done, and how simple the whole process was. It wasn't painful to our pocketbook. And that was an investment in our future and in the future of our children. So to me, it's a no-brainer. I would encourage anybody to reach out to you particularly, because you made it so easy.
Yeah.
And knowing where your heart is, it just made the whole process so much more comforting to us.
I would second that. I think if you use doctor's terminology, you got a great bedside manner about you. You understand, people's concerns and fears, and you have empathy. You had empathy with us,
Yes.
and it didn't feel cold. It felt very personal. And that was great. That's kind of what we needed. We needed somebody to kind of take us by the hand and lead us through this. And you did an excellent job of that. That's really probably the biggest thing I could say that happened. So
excuse me, somebody's at the door.
Sorry about that. We've got somebody in the yard today working. So
okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up for now. I really appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you, brother. And thanks to Kim for taking the time to talk to folks about this, because I do think it's important. I've been trying to ring this bell and for a long time with people, and just let people know this is something they can do for themselves and their families, that doesn't have to take forever and it doesn't have to cost a lot. And when it's done, the payoff is huge. Just a peace of mind.
I agree. And I mean, it's a scary thing to contemplate. I mean, it's not something people want to talk about, but to have somebody like you that does it and kind of takes the fear out of it, it was super easy, bro. So I really appreciate your help. I want you to know that it's made a big difference in our lives.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys get back to your day. Thank you so much, brother. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
See you. Bye. That's it. I just wanted everyone to know that, that was live. That was real. I did not know what they were going to say in advance. They're wonderful people, and I was very happy to help them. I would love to help you. If it's something you'd like help with, then go ahead. You'll see that in the notes. If you're on Facebook, it'll be above. If you're on YouTube, it'll be below. Go ahead and just click on that link. It's a Calendly link where you can look on my calendar and grab a time. Grab a time to talk with me. It just takes an hour. I can talk. You can get to know me. I can get to know you and give you some thoughts that'll be helpful for your family. And if you want to proceed, then we can talk about how to do that. I can promise you, you'll be getting big firm expertise and that level of documentation at a fraction of big firm prices, something that's a lot closer to LegalZoom, but with the benefit of having those conversations and professional counsel along the way. Friends, thank you for joining me. I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has, please do share with others so they can see what the upsides of doing these things are. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.